New development around the serial murder investigation in Winnipeg. Indigenous groups are now calling on Ottawa to help and for the United Nations to get involved in a search for two of the victims. As we've been reporting, investigators believe the remains of Morgan Harris and Mercedes Myron are in the Prairie Green landfill north of Winnipeg. But Winnipeg police have said a search of the site would be too difficult because too much time has passed. Now the groups say they have lost faith in local police. We're going to begin our coverage with Hilary Johnstone in Ottawa today. More on the substance of the appeal the leaders are now making, Hilary, to the federal government.
That's right, Heather. So they have sent this letter. It has been signed by a number of Indigenous groups along with Manitoba First Nations leaders as well, calling on the federal government to assist them in the search of that landfill. So a number of points that have been brought up in this letter. I want to go through some of them. So as you mentioned, they also would like to see the UN come in to assist them, a special rapporteur who could come in and sort of act as a bit of a liaison between them and the federal government to assist with that search process for that landfill. They also would like resources provided for a feasibility study when it comes to looking at searching that landfill, providing funding and support for families who have been impacted by all of this as well. They are also preparing to call on the RCMP to step in and assist with this search if the Winnipeg Police Service refuses to do so. They would also like funding to cover the search and the recovery cost as well. So you've been looking at these images of one of these landfills. There are two landfills in the Winnipeg area, one of them north of the city, the other one south of the city, that have been the focus of so much heartache. So of course we know that Rebecca Contois, one of these victims, was found in the Brady Road infill, that's south of the city, but now the focus is on this other one, the Prairie Green landfill, which is north of the city, where it is believed that the remains of Mercedes Myron and Morgan Harris may be. Now, police have been clear that they do not know for certain where those remains may be. They also say that, yes, too much time has passed in their view, but also that there could be the presence of animal remains, that construction clay has also pressed things down. So these are some of their concerns. But we've also heard from Kyra Wilson, the chief of the First Nation, where those two women were members, where they belong, saying that this is not acceptable. Here's a little bit of what we've heard from her.
We will be there to search for your loved ones if they go missing, and we know where they are and how to locate them. And right now, I have been talking to a forensic expert on what the searching of a landfill will look like. It is possible, and we are going to do it. We just need to make sure that we have the right plan and we're doing it in a good way.
So Heather, really getting a sense there from Kyra Wilson that this is obviously extremely difficult to the families, and they would like to see that landfill search so that they can try and bring their loved ones home.
So this matter has come before the Winnipeg Police Board, Hilary, and yesterday the chair of that board made public comments that Indigenous groups are on their own when it comes to a search. That's gotten quite a bit of attention. Tell us more about what was said.
Absolutely. So saying that, yes, that they were on their own when it comes to possibly searching that landfill, that they would have to explore other avenues here if they wanted that done. So that has upset First Nations leaders. It has upset Indigenous groups. And of course, it has upset the families of these women as well. So we've heard a little bit from some protesters as well, because of course there have been protesters who have positioned themselves outside of that landfill. In fact, even blocking trucks from being able to come in. Here's a little bit of what we heard from one.
The cops go and stand with us at every vigils. They go and stand with us at the MMIW inquiries and that, but they don't take a minute to think that, how they are infecting our women or our people when they don't search, and they got to put it on us to do it.
So hearing there a little bit from one of those protesters, Heather, and as you heard there at the end, putting sort of the onus here on some of these groups to go and search themselves, which is not what some of these protesters with the families of these victims, of course, want to hear.
Hilary Johnstone starting our coverage this morning. Thank you very much.